The little Western European country of Switzerland has garnered a notable reputation for always being neutral in world affairs. Despite being right at the center of all the action, the Helvetic Confederacy was able to avoid basically everything from both World Wars to the Cold War, and didn't even join the United Nations until 2002, and of course today forms that ever so famous gap in the map whenever you look at a map of the European Union. So why exactly did Switzerland become neutral in basically all world affairs? And perhaps more importantly, how were they able to get other nations to respect their neutrality for not just decades, but centuries? First off, let's get to know the country a little bit, at least before we delve straight into the history of its foreign policy. I mean, after all, that's kind of weird if you've only just met a country. Switzerland, the ever mountain-climbing, chocolate-eating, on-time train-having, cheese-making, multiple-language-speaking land, paranoidly defending itself from its neighbors, is a country located in the Alps in Europe, nowadays bordered by Germany to the north, France to the west, Italy to the south, and Austria and Liechtenstein to the east. Switzerland was formed out of the Old Swiss Confederacy, a loose confederacy of different local cantons within that part of the Holy Roman Empire, which first came together around the year 1291. The original cantons were mostly self-governing, and unlike other parts of the empire, only really had to swear allegiance to the emperor, as opposed to any local lords or kings, instead being largely allowed to carry their own affairs up high in the mountains, while also providing that ever so important connection between the kingdoms in Germany and Italy. This confederacy, however, was not exactly neutral in the beginning, fighting wars of expansion like pretty much everyone else in Europe back then. The confederacy welcomed new cantons and city-states over the first few centuries, and grew through impressive military victories over the Habsburgs. These victories gave the Swiss a reputation of invincibility. No, that's invisibility. Many foreign powers, in turn, would take note of this, and decided, instead of fighting against the Swiss, to fight with the Swiss, in the form of hiring mercenaries, or Reisläufer, as they would come to be known, one battalion of which is still in force today, the Pontifical Guard in the Vatican. Largely because of this, and some serious reconsiderations from the Swiss after their loss in the Battle of Marignano in 1515, Switzerland would largely stay out of the 30 Years' War, seeing as basically everyone's armies and royal courts already had Swiss soldiers within them, making Switzerland kind of a pointless and, dare I say, dangerous enemy for either side. By the mid-17th century, after 30 years of continental fighting over religion, including a couple intercantonal wars among the Swiss cantons, the Peace of Westphalia was enacted in 1648, putting an end to the 30 Years' War and granting complete, formal independence for the Old Swiss Confederacy, which had already been de facto independent from the HRE this whole time, but this made this official. Skipping over a little bit of history because this video is not supposed to be an in-depth history of Switzerland, Napoleon steamrolled through the area in 1798 and basically did a hard reset on Central Europe, disbanding the Holy Roman Empire and creating the short-lived Helvetic Republic out of the Old Swiss Confederacy, which itself would be disbanded and the cantons restored by 1803, and the whole thing released from French rule by 1815, the year in which the Congress of Vienna agreed that Switzerland should be a neutral, independent, impassable territory for all outside powers. Just right after the use of one last time to give France a proper beating, though this would be Switzerland's last participation in a foreign war. Okay, so what about the World Wars? Well, in the first one, Switzerland of course stayed neutral, though the German population largely supported the Central Powers, and the French population the Allied Powers. Although one Swiss politician, Robert Grimm, actually tried to broker a peace treaty between Germany and Russia for the interests of socialism, something that would become known as the Grimm-Hoffmann Affair. After the war, Switzerland actually joined the League of Nations in 1920, and initially practiced differential neutrality, which basically meant that their military was neutral, but they could still participate in sanctions, something which was disbanded in favor of total neutrality by 1938. So, surely Swiss neutrality in the Second World War was basically, Hallo, Herr demonetisierender Schnurrbartmann, wir wollen kein Teil mit dem Krieg haben. Ist es bei dir okay, ob wir neutral sein? Ha! Nope. And if you thought that's how it worked, you're wrong, and you're dumb, because that's not how Europe worked back then. Unless you're already subscribed to the channel, in which case, please, I still love you guys, please don't take it the wrong way. We're so close to 100,000, oh my god. So, yeah, Switzerland couldn't exactly maintain their neutrality by just sitting out the war. If they wanted a neutral stance, they had to commit to their neutral stance, at least provided they didn't want to end up like Belgium. Johnny Harris made a great video all about this, which I would highly recommend, but in a sense, during the war, the Swiss embraced the old Roman saying, Si vis pacem para bellum, in a sense ensuring peace by making themselves way too difficult, like comically difficult, of a target, and also way too valuable after signing a few deals with the devil. After that war, the Swiss again completely avoided the tensions of the Cold War, staying more or less out of international fighting, and as previously mentioned, only joining the UN as recently as 2002 after the passing of a referendum. As previously mentioned, Switzerland has not participated in a foreign war for over 200 years, and even then, they weren't exactly signing up for every single war in the previous couple centuries. Swiss neutrality has done quite a lot for the country, namely in helping it exist, but it has also arguably helped with international politics outside the country as well, facilitating everything from negotiations between countries that don't get along too well, to international agreements defining the rules of war itself. And as someone who always tries to maintain total political neutrality when I'm writing these videos, I'll actually put that aside for a moment to applaud Switzerland's sheer dedication to staying as true neutral as possible. Thank you as always for watching. If you like this crap, be sure to like and share with someone else who might, consider supporting the channel on Patreon or the merch store, and subscribe to learn something new this coming Saturday. Yeah, if you're new here, it's normally Sundays, but this week I actually have another collab video coming up with someone you might have already heard of, so stay tuned to see who it's with.